Yep. So I'm Andy Voelker. I'm the retail pricing manager at Ace Hardware. So I lead up our retail pricing strategy, the processes, the data, the technology. It's really used to support any retail pricing decisions that we make and recommend out to our retailers. And prior to that role, I spent about 10 years with Accenture in the retail pricing and profit optimization group. The two biggest challenges we had, and they're pretty important, one is coverage, and the second was accuracy. So coverage-wise, we were getting probably less than 10% of our product catalog covered in terms of product-to-product matches, and anything else was a manual process for us to create the matches and maintain them, which just created a lot of extra work. The other piece was accuracy. So even on the products that we had exact matches on, we kept seeing results that led us to doubt the accuracy of the information and go back on our recommendations. And when we can't be confident in our decisions, and just as importantly, our retailers can't be confident in the decisions and recommendations we're making to them, that became more and more of a problem for us, and we had to make some changes. We look back to our strategy and what do we mean in the marketplace and what do we mean to our consumers. And for us, our pricing strategy is not to go out and be the market leader and really set that market price. So one of the, if not the most important, one of the most important drivers for us is that competitive price point. And where are they? That way we can price to value and price accordingly to that market price. So for us, that just naturally led us to getting the best possible competitive data providing solution that we could get. A couple things about it. One, it was delayed, or time. There was a big time lag for it. So for us, our provider would shop it the second week of the month, but we wouldn't actually see that data until the fourth week of that same month, and then we were actually ended up making decisions the first week of the following month. So we're now using data that was 4 to 5 weeks potentially out of date. And in today's changing retail world, prices could have changed 2 to 3 or even more times before we actually make a decision, and at that point, it's old, stale data, and we were in a bad position. That was just from a timing perspective. From the actual maintenance of the products themselves, it was on us to give the product list and the not just our own product list, but even the competitor products to shop. So we had to provide multiple pieces of information to them rather than just the already prepared SKU information. We had to maintain that mapping as well that allowed the provider to give us those prices back. So it was just a very manual, intensive and disconnected process that we had to maintain, which was very time consuming. Did go through a formal process with our indirect procurement group, and we started with a large set of potential providers, quickly narrowed it down based on the relevance of their responses. But then when it came down to those final 3, we tried to put them through their paces as best we could with our actual products. So both products that we knew they should be able to find, and products that we've always had trouble creating matches for and collecting that data in the past. We just gave it out to those 3 providers and did a bake-off, say who can give us the best coverage and the most accurate results. And that's where the solution that we went with 360PI really outshone the competition and kind of made it a formality to go through the last steps. It comes down to those business issues we talked about at the beginning. So from a coverage standpoint, we went from about 6,000 to 7,000 direct UPC matches with our prior provider to over 18,000 matches with 360. So more of a 3x increase in just those direct matches, which was huge for us. The accuracy, we don't have specific accuracy metrics from our prior provider, but as we were going through the ramp up and the discovery process with 360PI, all the results that we've seen have been greater than 98% accuracy with 360. So again, that really hits on those 2 key aspects for us. We had some very interesting challenges for 360PI coming into our project, into our program, namely the regional aspect of pricing. We were looking to collect data from not just one region for each competitor, but really up to 75 or even over 100 potential different prices for each competitor based on where you're located, where they're located. and that was something that was a bit new for the 360 PI technology. But working together, we were able to tackle it and develop a plan that would quickly get us up to speed and rolling with that kind of new regional competitive price intelligence for us, and that's worked out really well. And all the folks from the 360 PI team that we've worked with have been very responsive to our needs and really asking us and making sure that they're meeting our needs and meeting our expectations. And when they're not, they're definitely very quick to do their best to fix it and make it happen. Five years ago, it was a luxury that retailers with a nice budget in their pricing area they were able to collect it because they had feet on the streets and in the stores and people collecting it. At the same time, that data was skeptical at best in terms of accuracy. Now and moving forward, it has to be part of every retailer's capability. If you don't know where the competition is, then you're not going to be relevant for your consumer. And as retail is becoming more and more price transparent, consumers have more and more access to different retailers and that pricing information. You have to be smarter and you have to be more knowledgeable than your customer is in terms of price, and you have to use that to really drive where you are in the market. Otherwise, you're going to quickly get out of line and your customer is going to recognize that.